Could your daily routine be quietly increasing your risk of dementia? Every day, millions of us unknowingly engage in habits that could harm our brain health and lead to memory loss. In this video, we're going to share 5 daily habits that research links to a higher risk of dementia. And more importantly, we'll discuss how you can change them naturally before it's too late. Stick around because protecting your brain might be easier than you think. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a vital health topic, the daily habits that might put you or your loved ones at risk for dementia, and how to turn things around with natural lifestyle changes. Dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, is becoming a more significant concern for many of us, so knowing what habits could be harmful is empowering. By understanding which everyday behaviors can hurt your brain, you can take action now to protect your memory and cognitive health. If you find this information helpful, please give us a thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe for more health insights based on science. Your support helps us reach more people, and it could even save lives. Before we go any further, here's a quick note. I'm not a medical professional. This content is meant for informational and educational purposes only, so it's not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always check with your doctor or a qualified health provider if you have any medical concerns, or before making changes to your health routine. With that in mind, let's consider what we know about dementia risk and prevention. Let's get started. Top 5 daily habits that increase dementia risk and how to stop them naturally. Research shows that certain everyday habits can raise your risk of developing dementia. We'll go through 5 of the most significant ones backed by scientific studies. But don't worry, these are habits you can change. After we cover the risks, we'll share 5 natural ways to help prevent dementia and keep your brain healthy. Habit 1. Sedentary lifestyle, too little exercise. Leading a sedentary life, spending most of your day sitting or not being active, can seriously impact your brain health. You might not realize it, but too much sitting isn't good for your brain. A recent study found that being inactive for 10 or more hours a day is linked to a much higher risk of developing dementia later on. The researchers looked at thousands of adults and found that those who sat for 10+ hours daily had higher rates of dementia compared to those who moved around more. Even more concerning, the longer people remained sedentary, the higher their risk climbed. Just think about it. At 12 hours of sitting, your dementia risk could be about 50% higher, and at 15 hours, it could be nearly triple. So, why does a lack of movement harm your brain? Physical activity boosts blood flow and helps release chemicals that support brain cells. Conversely, sitting all day can lead to high blood pressure, obesity, and poor circulation, all risk factors for memory loss. The great news? This is a habit you can change, and we'll talk about how regular exercise can significantly cut your dementia risk in the prevention section. Don't go anywhere. The next habit we'll discuss might surprise you. You could do it every night without realizing how it affects your brain. Habit 2. Unhealthy diet high in processed foods. We've all heard the saying, "You are what you eat," which is especially true for your brain. A daily diet loaded with junk food and ultra-processed items, like fast food, packaged snacks, sugary drinks, and refined carbs, can increase your risk of dementia. These foods are often low in nutrients and high in sugars and unhealthy fats, which can lead to inflammation and damage to the brain over time. A study from 2022 showed that for every 10% increase in processed foods consumed, the risk of developing dementia rose by about 25%. In other words, the more chips, cookies, and soda you have, the higher your chances of cognitive decline. This research adds to the growing evidence that diet is crucial to brain health. On the other hand, people who eat more whole foods, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, tend to enjoy better brain health. In that same study, researchers found that swapping out processed foods for unprocessed options was linked to a lower risk of dementia. Later, we'll talk more about a brain-healthy diet and how it can protect your memory. Habit 3. Smoking tobacco. Smoking isn't just harmful to your lungs and heart, it's also bad for your brain. Cigarette smoke contains toxins that can cause inflammation and damage blood vessels, speeding up the brain's aging process and leading to memory issues. Studies have shown that smokers face a significantly higher risk of dementia and even dementia-related death. In a review of 37 studies, current smokers were about 30% more likely to develop dementia compared to non-smokers. For Alzheimer's disease specifically, smokers had a 40% higher risk. And the more you smoke, the worse it gets. Smoking a pack a day could increase your dementia risk by around 34%. The World Health Organization estimates that about 14% of dementia cases worldwide may be linked to smoking. Smoking also contributes to strokes and vascular disease, which can lead to memory loss due to reduced blood flow in the brain. The good news? Quitting smoking can reduce and even eliminate this heightened risk over time. We'll cover that in our prevention tips, so stick around. Habit 4. Excessive alcohol consumption. Next up is heavy drinking or frequently consuming too much alcohol. We're not talking about the occasional glass of wine, but instead regularly going over the healthy limits. There's strong evidence that drinking too much alcohol increases the risk of developing dementia. Too much generally means exceeding the recommended maximum, like more than 14 units of alcohol per week, which is about 6 to 7 standard drinks, or any pattern of binge drinking. Consistently drinking beyond these limits can harm your brain in several ways. High doses of alcohol can shrink brain regions involved in memory and thinking, disrupt neurotransmitters, and lead to deficiencies in vitamins that brain cells need. Heavy drinking also raises the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke, which can cause cognitive decline. One concerning link is between long-term heavy drinking and early-onset dementia. While studies vary on moderate drinking, they consistently show that exceeding recommended alcohol limits raises dementia risk. In other words, no one's brain is safe from alcohol's effects. If you regularly drink a lot, you might be speeding up the aging of your brain. We'll discuss lowering this risk by moderating your alcohol intake in our natural prevention tips shortly. Habit 5. Chronic poor sleep. Do you often get less than 6 hours of sleep each night? Research shows that chronic sleep deprivation, or poor quality sleep, can be a daily habit that raises your risk of dementia. When we sleep, our brains do some serious housekeeping. They clear out waste proteins and consolidate memories. If you regularly skimp on sleep, those critical processes can suffer. A significant study found that older adults who slept less than 5 hours a night had double the risk of developing dementia compared to those who got a healthy 6 to 8 hours. That's a 100% increase in risk for those who are chronically sleep deprived. Another long-term study in Europe showed that consistently getting around 6 hours or less of sleep in midlife was linked to a 30% higher dementia risk later on than about 7 hours. Poor sleep can speed up memory loss because it contributes to brain inflammation and allows toxic proteins to build up in brain tissue. Many people treat sleep as optional. Working late, endless screen time, or other habits can chip away at our nightly rest. But if this becomes a daily pattern, it can seriously hurt your brain health. The good news? Improving your sleep habits, even later in life, can help reduce that risk, as we'll explore in the prevention section. Now that we've identified these risky habits, stick around. We're about to share 5 natural strategies to counteract these risks. Next, learn how small changes in your daily routine, from diet to exercise and sleep, can significantly lower your chances of dementia. One of these tips is so simple that you can start doing it tonight. After hearing about those risk factors, you might wonder, what can I do to protect my brain? The good news is that many dementia cases can be prevented or delayed through healthy lifestyle changes. Here are 5 science-backed natural strategies to help you break those risky habits and keep your brain sharp. Each tip corresponds to one of the habits we discussed, and research shows they can lower your dementia risk. Tip 1. Get regular physical activity. The key to ending the couch potato life is simple. Sit less, move more. Exercise is one of the only genuinely good things you can do for your brain. Exercise delivers blood to the brain, dampens inflammation, and stimulates growth factors that promote brain cells. How great is it? Studies have found that those who exercise on a regular basis have a 20% lower risk of dementia than inactive individuals. That results from research examining 58 various studies. A very convincing argument. Exercise is better than nothing. Moving from a physically inactive state to becoming even moderately active provides the most risk reduction. It's never too early to begin. One study of older adults found that those in the lowest 10% for daily activity had over twice the risk of Alzheimer's compared to those in the top 10% for activity. So, the most active elderly had over a 50% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease than the least active. What a difference! Whether walking quickly, gardening, cycling, or dancing, do something you like often. Try to get at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week, about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Any movement is good, even a bit of housework or going up the stairs. By staying active, you'll feel better, build brain resilience, and directly tackle one of the most significant risk factors for dementia. Tip 2. Eat a brain-healthy diet, Mediterranean style. To counter an unhealthy diet, start eating for your brain. A balanced, nutrient-rich diet can protect your memory and cognitive function. The Mediterranean diet is one of the most evidence-backed options, focusing on vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, like beans and lentils, fish, nuts, and olive oil, while limiting red meat, processed foods, sugar, and saturated fats. This way of eating is packed with antioxidants and healthy fats, which help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain. A recent large study suggested that strictly following a Mediterranean diet could cut the risk of dementia by up to 23%. In other words, people who closely follow this healthy eating pattern have significantly lower dementia rates than those who stick to a more typical Western diet. Other research aligns with this. A meta-analysis found that sticking to a Mediterranean-style diet is linked to about a 10 to 30% lower risk of cognitive impairment and dementia in older adults. Why does this diet help? It likely keeps blood vessels healthy, ensuring good blood flow to the brain, and providing essential nutrients for brain cell maintenance. To apply this tip, focus on whole, unprocessed foods each day. For example, swap sugary breakfast cereal for oatmeal with berries, replace a fast food lunch with a salad topped with fish, or choose nuts and fruit instead of chips for snacks. Small changes can make a big difference. Not only will your waistline thank you, but you'll also nourish your brain, potentially staving off dementia in the long run. Tip 3. Quit smoking. It's never too late. If you smoke, one of the most powerful steps you can take to protect your brain and your overall health is to quit. We know smoking dramatically raises dementia risk, but here's the encouraging part. Quitting can reverse that risk over time. Research shows that when smokers quit, their increased risk of dementia starts to decline. In one study, after about 9 smoke-free years, a former smoker's risk of dementia was no higher than someone who never smoked. In other words, your brain can recover from the damage if you give it a chance. The earlier you quit, the better, but stopping at any age is beneficial. Quitting smoking isn't easy, but it's achievable with support. Consider talking to your doctor about aids like nicotine replacement or medications, and seek support groups or counseling if needed. Each day you don't smoke, you're letting your brain heal, improving circulation, reducing inflammation, and preventing further toxin exposure. Over time, this leads to sharper thinking, and a significantly lower risk of memory loss. Remember, smoking is one of the top modifiable risk factors for dementia, so eliminating this habit can make a real difference. If you need another reason to quit, protecting your memory and mental clarity for years is incredible. Quitting smoking slashes your dementia risk, but don't stop there. Alcohol also matters. Even moderate drinking can quietly raise dementia risk if you're not careful. Let's talk about exactly how to keep your brain safe. Tip 4. Limit alcohol to safe levels. You don't have to give up alcohol completely if you enjoy it, but moderation is key. To naturally lower your dementia risk, it's important to stay within recommended alcohol limits and avoid heavy drinking. Health guidelines typically suggest a maximum of around 14 units of alcohol per week. That's roughly 1 to 2 drinks per day at most, with some alcohol-free days. Going over this increases dementia risk. If you stick to moderate levels, you're generally unlikely to raise your risk. In fact, some studies suggest that light to moderate drinkers, especially of red wine, might have equal or slightly lower risk than those who don't drink at all, though the evidence isn't strong enough to recommend starting to drink if you don't already. The safest approach? If you drink, do so in moderation, and if you don't drink, there's no need to start for the sake of your brain. Practically, this means being mindful of how much and how often you drink. Avoid binge drinking, which is particularly harmful, consuming a lot in one go. Instead, if you have alcohol, spread it out and keep the amounts low. For example, having a glass of wine with dinner a few times a week might be fine, but drinking multiple cocktails every night isn't. Also, remember that alcohol isn't essential for a healthy lifestyle. There are other ways to relax and socialize that don't involve risking brain health. By cutting down on excessive drinking, you give your brain and liver a chance to recover, improve your sleep quality, and reduce the risk of brain damage and deficiencies caused by alcohol abuse. In short, drink smart or not at all. Your future brain will thank you. Tip 5. Prioritize quality sleep every night. One of the simplest ways to prevent dementia is to make sure you get enough good quality sleep. We've seen how habitually sleeping too little can really hurt the brain. So, make it a priority to get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night, for most adults, on a consistent schedule. Think of sleep as the time when your brain recharges and does some important cleaning. By improving your sleep, you help your brain clear out toxins, consolidate memories, and reduce harmful stress hormones. Research shows that people who maintain healthy sleep habits have much better cognitive outcomes. For instance, a study found that those consistently sleeping around 7 hours had a significantly lower risk of dementia compared to those who slept 6 hours or less. Sleeping under 6 hours in midlife was linked to a 30% higher dementia risk. That suggests that getting enough sleep could potentially reduce your risk by a similar amount. To make this tip work for you, establish a relaxing nighttime routine and good sleep hygiene. Go to bed and wake up at the exact times every day. Keep your bedroom dark, quiet, and calm, and avoid stimulants like caffeine or heavy screen time before bed. If you have ongoing insomnia or sleep apnea, snoring, and breathing interruptions, seek medical advice. Treating those issues can also protect your brain. Even when life gets busy, remember that sacrificing sleep isn't harmless. It's an investment in either brain health or risk. By ensuring you get restful sleep, you're doing your memory and mood a huge favor and helping guard against dementia in the long run. To wrap things up, 5 daily habits, a sedentary lifestyle, eating lots of junk food, smoking, heavy drinking, and skimping on sleep can increase your risk of dementia. The fantastic news is that you have the power to change each of these habits starting today. By staying active, nourishing your body with a healthy diet, avoiding tobacco, drinking moderately or not at all, and getting enough sleep, you're stacking the odds in favor of a healthy brain. These natural lifestyle changes not only help prevent dementia, but also improve your heart health, mood, and overall quality of life. It's never too early or too late to adopt brain-friendly habits. Even small steps, like taking a daily walk, adding an extra serving of vegetables, or turning in 30 minutes earlier, can make a difference over time. Your brain is your most valuable asset, so take care of it like any other part of your health. Share this knowledge with family and friends. You might help them reduce their risk of dementia too. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based health tips. Don't forget to share this video with others who might benefit from it. Together, we can build healthier habits and protect our minds for years to come. Stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.